Hi and welcome to this video. In this video I've spent a lot of time doing work to get the wings fitted. Well, the bushings done for the wings, so I can make progress going forward. So join me in the video, come on there. Okay, so I want to set up and make up a rigging board for setting up the wings on the aircraft, so I can drill through for the carry throughs and mountings, and that way I can then get on and put the plywood sides onto the fuselage. The information we've got is on this plan here, and it shows that the leading edge to the cord line to the top of the longeron is 18.5 inches at the front and 19.5 inches here at the trailing edge. That's great if you've got ply sides to put those marks on, and when you're trying to do this, it's a lot of jiggery pokery. That's why I'm doing this before I put the ply sides on. It makes life so much easier as far as I'm concerned. So going through on to how to make up the rigging board, I've drawn that line here on the wing rib plan section, 1 inch up at the trailing edge here. We're looking at this upside down, this wing rib, so 1 inch up there and corresponding there, and doing a little bit of maths, the cord length is 42 inches, 1 inch of lift, so I divided 1 by 42 and then did the inverse sine of that. Tells me that this angle here is 1.36 degrees near enough. Not that we really need to know that, but I thought it'd be interesting to find out what that figure is. Anyway, the plan is to have a piece of wood going from the top of the main spar here, parallel with this instance line, and be blocked to the top of the rear spar, packed up. So if I put this piece of wood on here, this is one I'm actually going to use, it'll go something in line with that. At the moment the top of the front spar is 80 millimeters to that cord line here to the back edge of there, you know, setting that at 80 millimeters shows me that I have 50 and a bit mil there, or near enough, bang on 2 inches. So a 2 inch block fitted here, so it rests on the rear spar, the front end here resting on the front spar, and I'll put a little plate just to make sure that we have a good position, it doesn't try and slip and fall over the place. Will allow me to put a spirit level, or in my case I'm going to put a clino on there, and make sure we get 0 degrees, and that'll give me a lovely repeatable measurement going across the wing. I can do it at the root, I can do it at the tip in the future, I can do it for the top wing as well when we put that onto the cabanes and do the initial drilling. Here we have the rigging plate. As you can see, sit on top of the spar there and sits on top of the spar here. Hello, the helper's looking around for something. What are you looking for? Psst. What are you doing, hey? You being a good boy? Yes. Hey, being a good boy? Here we go, yeah. Okay, so I'm just jigging things up at the moment. So we've got 0 degrees there on the carry through, 0 degrees there on the longeron, 0 degrees there on the spar check for the instance meter, and we're sort of waving between 2.8 and 3 degrees, just got a little bit for the dihedral. And I've been using packers, these packers here, so there's 2 1/8 packers and a 1/16 there, going to make sure that we've actually got the clearances there, because in the instructions it says we should have an 1/8 clearance. So I've effectively created that with these packers going in, well, 1/8 and a 1/16, 3/16 clearance, because I'm going to put in a little bit of thin foam between the root and the ply skin, and I'm also going to put a 1/16 sort of rib shape, so that the covering sticks to that rather than trying to stick to the flat. It makes it easier to get a nice clean section there. So looking underneath, you can sort of see where it all lies, and you can sort of see I've got packing pieces there underneath the spar mount, both front and rear. Now I've got this side basically set, I'll complete the dihedral requirement to make sure it's spot on. Just going to do the same to that wing, so we've got both together. So there's the laser just shining on the front edge of the spar, and you can sort of see it's going all the way through to the front edge of the spar on the other side. So we've got things straight that way. I've got the dihedral right this way. I've got the incidence of the wing right, and I've got the longeron level and the spar carry through down here checked as level. So I can drill the hole on this side here and at the rear. And then once I've got this one set up like that, I'm going to use the wire at the top end there and equal it out and set the dihedral and everything, double check, and then drill the other side. Dihedral at 3 degrees. We've had the lateral set at 0, the top of the longeron at 0, the instance set at 0, the packers going into here, and now I've drilled and pinned with a drill bit, 6mm drill bit, front and rear. So now this wing is definitely set. Next bit I'm going to be doing is setting up the other wing, double checking the other wing. It's straight with the laser going through. Make sure the dihedral is set, and then I'll do the measurement, the triangulation of measurement going back to this point here. So it'll go out there and out to there. Okay, with the wire around the bolt there so it can rotate, I go down just to here. You can see I put a bend in so it actually matches up with the outside of that bracket there. We'll go around. He says, I'm just going to get that. Go around, and you'll see it matches exactly the same place on that bracket. So we've got 0 error sweep is well, it's equal both sides. The laser's going straight up and down, so I'm now going to drill the hole there on the front spar, and that will be it. I'll then de-rig the aircraft and we'll have to start drilling the holes for the bushings. Bond those in and we'll repeat pretty much most of this again tomorrow. The bushes are now being glued in, so it's a case of waiting for that to cure, and then I can put the wings back on outside and ream the holes through the attachment fittings. The holes in these bushes are 6.2 millimeters, and the rear plate going on here is already reamed, or will already be reamed to 1/4, but the front one is still at 5 millimeters at the moment, and the front one here will be reamed, but the rear one will still be at 5 millimeters. So what I'll do then is I can put the drill, the 6.2 millimeter drill through to the other side, to the other plate, and then ream right the way through the whole lot. To be able to drill all this little lot, I need to use a 90-degree chuck for the rear ones here, and to tell you the honest truth, I wouldn't have got in very easily if I'd had the ply plate on the side, so I'd have been probably rubbing the chuck just about on that as well. It was very tight against the longeron. In point of fact, it did actually rub on the longeron. Front is okay. Used a stubby drill bit to be able to go through there with my drill guide doing the work nicely, and I'm really grateful I had the drill guide for doing this rear one, to try and get everything lined up. When you've got a longeron that's tilted upwards and inwards, makes sighting quite hard. Honestly, that drill guide is a godsend for it. Here we have it all reset up, and what I've done is I've drilled through the holes for each of those at 6.2 mil and then reamed all the way through. I've just stuck in some long 1/4 AN4 bolts just through, just to hold the wing in position. I've put the bolts through at the rear to start off with the front just aligned with a tapered punch. Reamed the rear. With the rear in position, I then reamed the front, and there we go. So, job to do, job done. Well, that's it for this week. 8 hours worth of work to get the 4 mounting points on the fuselage sorted out for the lower wings. So quite a long video, I think, but hopefully you get the idea of the detail and the precision that I tried to get to with the wings on this particular aircraft, or the lower wings anyway. So going forward, we will be looking at the ply sides for the fuselage and various other bits and pieces. At this moment in time, I'm over 500 hours into the project, and well over 100 hours of that is modifications, my modifications, to try and make things work the way I want them to work. Anyway, let's see what I get up to in the next video. Bye now. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the thumbs up. You can subscribe or even hit the little bell notification for future videos. Any comments would be appreciated, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. Remember, go fly and feel the sky.